Bonjour Jérémy, tu es un des 3 capitaines de EMUCC. Tu vas jouer une finale de championnat master. Alors déjà, comment tu te sens toi?
Bon écoute, tranquille, on a essayé de le jouer comme tous les matchs d'avant en prépa là, donc on aborde ça comme un match, on va tout faire pour le gagner. On pense pas trop au fait que c'est une finale, je pense que ce serait une connerie. Donc on va juste essayer de dérouler le match et d'aller accrocher le truc quoi.
Alors ce qui s'est passé, c'est que tu as déjà joué, vous avez déjà joué en fait cette équipe-là, BEEFIRE précédemment. C'était un match super accroché, 15-13 je crois.
Ouais.
Donc là, comment ça s'était passé d'ailleurs ce match?
On commence bien, ils ont un gros retour avant la mi-temps, autour de la mi-temps, et on fait des bêtises en deuxième qui nous coûtent le match, mais on pense qu'il y a moyen de repasser juste devant et de faire peut-être l'inverse. Un 15-13 pour nous, ce serait cool, et voilà.
Et le spirit, c'était cool, ça s'est bien passé?
Ouais, on a parlé un peu contact, mais les mecs ont été honnêtes, les yeux dans les yeux et tout, donc on va essayer de retourner comme ça, et tant qu'on arrive à se parler, ça va.
C'est la première finale pour vous?
En championnat d'Europe, ouais, je pense qu'on a fait un Toms il y a longtemps en Open, en D2, et en championnat d'Europe, ouais, ça fait un bout de temps qu'on n'a pas fait une finale. Ouais.
Bon, ok. Bah, bonne chance à vous du coup, et puis bah, très bon match.
Raoul, merci.
Voilà.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Italiano. Hi guys, ulti.TV. We are here in Poland, in Wrocław again, just before the mixed tournament, mixed division final. We are here with Eva from Ultimate Torino, the BEEFIRE team. How are you?
I'm fine. Italian or italiano? English.
Sì, è vero, abbiamo detto che avevamo fatto in italiano, era una cosa per farvi un po' interessare alla cosa, però siamo siamo in italiano. Dai, come stai?
Tutto bene, siamo un po' emozionati e carichi per la partita e abbiamo già incontrato questa squadra ieri, per cui insomma, c'è molta voglia di confermare il risultato di ieri, chiaramente sapendo di aver vinto di poco, e quindi sarà una partita molto tirata.
Quindi insomma, cosa avete intenzione di cambiare per questa finale? Perché sai che la seconda è sempre diversa dalla prima.
Sì, allora abbiamo pianificato di cambiare un po' di cose, ma soprattutto c'è vento, cosa che non c'era la volta scorsa, quindi per forza dobbiamo adattarci, fare molte più zone, e invece che del gran gioco a sparoni dovremo fare molti passaggini più costruzione, quindi un po' di diverso ci sarà, lo vedrete dopo.
In generale, come pensi che sia l'esperienza qua polacca del tuo team?
La squadra ha reagito molto bene, è cresciuta dall'inizio alla fine, siamo molto contenti, abbiamo avuto delle partite tiratissime, quindi siamo molto contenti dell'evento e entusiasti di andare in Irlanda.
Carichissimi, allora state connessi con l'Eva e con ulti.TV, saremo tutti a Limerick ancora. Ciao.
Ciao.
Side Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! TV!
Help us go electric, become a member.
He's in a great spot. He's in a perfect spot. Yes, his massive head has blocked everything. That was a huge play, but we have seen none of it. Finny, he's done it.
Hi, this is Vest. Me and my camera have been covering Ultimate Frisbee since 2012, and now I've been working with ulti.TV, streaming Ultimate Frisbee for you. And if you become a patron member, we can offer you more contents, especially those games that they are not live stream and they're happening at the end of the game. Half of it I can move and go in there and stream live. So become a member, go on ulti.TV.
Bonjour, buongiorno. chest. Hello and welcome to the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships, our final game of a phenomenal weekend here in gorgeous Wrocław in Poland. The Olympic Stadium complex is the venue, and we are bringing you the Mixed Masters final with PUC, the Paris Ultimate Club of France, taking on BEEFIRE from Torino, Italy. It's been a sensational few days, and if the last two finals are anything to go by, we're in for another absolute corker here. It's Benjamin Rees with you in the booth, and for the final time this weekend, I am joined by Rachel Toshnerova.
The completely and utterly exhausted Rachel Toshnerova.
It takes it out of you, doesn't it?
Who almost lost her voice commentating on that last universe point. 2 finals behind us. Silence 4.0 coming out victorious of the first one for Grand Masters Open. Hartfish from Hamburg, Germany, taking the Masters Open trophy back to Germany. And we have yet to find out if the last trophy will make its way over to Italy or Paris. Please do join us in the comments section. If you're struggling to make a comment and it says you need to subscribe to make a comment, then you just need to subscribe. There is a big red subscribe button right below the video, so just hit that and give it a few seconds and do participate. We have some people joining us already. It looks like mostly PUC fans. Also, our fellow media crew from Desde la Linea is sending us some greetings from Colombia. Thank you for joining us. Please do engage. We're ready to pass on any messages that you have to the players on the field, as well as to the crew, organizers, volunteers, etc.
Yeah, it's lovely to have you here with us. There is 90 minutes separating us from the end of the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships, and it is a 90 minutes I am thoroughly looking forward to. The Italians BEEFIRE against PUC, the Paris Ultimate Club of France. The Italians triumphed out of Pool B, 15-5 win over Carigna, 15-9 over the Wizards of Oz, and a 15-13 win over today's opponent in the pool stage, PUC themselves, before a 15-10 win over Sugar Mix, and a universe point win that we streamed yesterday in the semi-final against Reading. For PUC, comfortable wins 15-6 both against the Wizards of Oz and Carigna in the pool play, before a 15-5 win in the pre-quarter over Marmota, 15-11 over the Amsterdam Ultimate Club in the quarterfinals, and 15-10 over Heidi's in the semis. It's going to be PUC beginning the game on offense and taking their time to walk towards the disc, giving their players a chance to set up downfield. Looks like a... I thought it was going to be a horizontal set, but not quite. They've got to play out slightly isolated, a little bit deep. And we're in play now. Kayla's going to do a lot of the key handling work, along with Manon de Palma. Now on the far side is Vuong. Vuong back to Kayla. De Palma. Little blade over the top, cheeky, but it works. Finds its target, Le Nouvelle. Swinging the disc around the back. Clearly, calmly. Fakes to Herman. Low throw. Finds target in the middle, Tejeda. 4 women, the gender ratio for this point, with 3 guys. Again, swinging across the field, taking their time, nice and comfortable. Vuong. Back to De Palma. Keeping it very circumspect so far. Just, again, trying to work their way up. Don't want to take any overly risky shots early on. Le Nouvelle. Back to Vuong. Swing again to De Palma. Just taking their time. Really being deliberate about their choice of pass. Singing that one through. On the end zone line. Still not quite in the end zone yet. Can they find a force in? They can indeed. That's going to be the goal. And Paris take the 1-0 lead into the arms of Elisa Tejeda.
A pretty long first point, but a very calm, composed French offense there. Tejeda started playing in Mexico and has played 2 Worlds in 2014 in Lecco and 2016 in London. Another CrossFitter, quite a few among these Masters players we've seen so far, also on our stream.
We have indeed.
French offense, like I said, very calm, and the Italians coming out in a zone, not surprising. We have seen zones featured in both finals, I believe. Grandmasters opting for more of a poachy look, maybe, rather than a clear zone D. But we have said it before, there is some wind, different gusts. It calms down for a while and then it picks up again. So like we said in the last final, you really have to focus on every throw because the situation you find yourself in is different every time. The Italians receive.
That blade over the top is immediately turned over. The throw for the Mozzo can't find its target. Early break chance for Pook, although having said that, BEEFIRE were down 3-0 in the semi-final and came back to win. So they might not be fazed by this. This throw might sail out of the far sideline. Towing grab, called in bounds. Gabriel catches from Lombele to take the lead at 2-0.
Was that Gabriel with the score?
It was indeed.
A fun fact about him, props to my friend Francis, who is feeding me these fun facts about the players directly from Madrid, is that he was the defender who left the field when France messed up the gender ratio in the EMUCC 2019 final. It was 3 women instead of 4. And he was the one who was forced to leave the field.
Wow, that was in terms of gender ratio mix-up. That's probably the most famous one I can remember. But so far, so good. I haven't seen anyone mix it up so far this weekend. I have been shown this screenshot, and it's pretty. It's Gabriel, I think, marked up against Karen Kwok. Both of them kind of arms out, shrugging like, how have we ended up here?
Italians with another chance on their offense.
Pagano absolutely rips this downfield, and it's not going to come back in bounds. Wow, the Italians again, like they did in yesterday's semi-final against Reading, taking a little bit of time to find their feet. Of course, they did come back to win eventually, otherwise they wouldn't be here. But, again, really not finding their range early on in this contest.
I think it's just going to take a couple of practice shots for Pagano to get them deep throws rolling, because he has them. He's not afraid to take them. And they could make a huge difference in any game, really, like they did in the semi-final against
Reading.
Reading, right.
Yeah, even though there is a bit of wind now, it was relatively still yesterday evening, and that allowed more of these bladey indoor-style throws to be used. I wonder if they have to put those in the locker with these conditions. Working downfield are Paris. Taking the reset, rises a little bit, but is well caught. Again, trying to blade that one over the top, and it just about works its way over the defender to the back of the end zone for the goal. Paris are on fire right now. The target in the back of the end zone is Torrieri. Tavo finds him for the 3-0 lead.
Tazio Torrieri might not be able to drive, but he is surely able to collect some points in the end zone. He will not be left alone in that inability to lead a motor vehicle where it should go, because there is another player on this team who doesn't drive. But we will let you know about that a bit later.
Interesting. I think this is maybe one of the least surprising timeout calls in the history of timeout calls. Really not gone to start so far. BEEFIRE have completed across the first 3 points a grand total of 0 passes. So I think you can see why they take the timeout. We're going to take a brief breather here as well, and we'll be back with you very shortly. ulti.TV's coverage of the European Masters Ultimate Cup Championships Mixed Masters Final. BEEFIRE having taken an early timeout with 2 early breaks down, trying to shoot deep for the end zone. This is going to be some reel in if they can make it, and the timeout seems to have been an absolute dream as they find the target in the back of the end zone. They are finally on the board after a horror show of the first 3 points where they couldn't even complete a pass, but they've got their first goal of the game thanks to the Colombian Medellin-born Susana Fuentes-Velez.
What a read from Fuentes-Velez. Really, she has been a force downfield for the BEEFIRE offense in the semifinal, and she's proving to do that again in this game. She has read that disc perfectly. Let's have a look at that again. She gets into position early, chases it down, secure two-handed grab.
Yeah, slows down a little bit early so she can create that box, giving her the space to go and attack the disc at the back of the end zone. And it's the lefty, Crosetto, who pings it deep for the score.
Lots of fans gathering for both sides in the YouTube comments section. Please keep it up. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're cheering for, and also that we're better than Tom's.
I mean, I wasn't going to say that, even if you're right. There is the women's file going on at Tom's at the moment, but I will keep you in the dark there so you can entirely focus in this game and then watch that back on demand later when we will re-upload it to our YouTube channel, ulti.TV.
Gender pulls, of course, apply here at this European Championship.
As the disc lands right in front of our camera and the Paris Ultimate Club is back on the field for offense, their first 0 point since the first of this contest. Kayla looking, trying to find an option. Wants the dump to Hermon, just about squeezes that one through. Hermon, a long-time worker with the EUF. Now, here's Pupono. Pupono back to Kayla. Trying to do a little bit of a give-go, 1-2. That throw was low, but he got his hand underneath it. Kayla wants to rip this down the sideline. Was it in bounds? That's the question.
Vitaly being pretty persuasive, or at least quick, with calling that out.
Just going to get a look at it here on the replay. I think they are going to call it the turnover. Again, Kayla really zinged this in there, and it's just, yeah, those knees are indeed on the line by the time it's caught. So BEEFIRE with a chance to get an early break, and they're going to get it right back. Kayla makes amends for the throw that was just too far.
Good effort from Crosetto there to try to get it on the second try.
And again, Puke turn it. There's an easy throw there for Pagano. Why didn't he take it? Wanted a better option downfield. He better hope that one emerges. Cross to the near side. Vitali looking for the first Italian break. Is stolen away again. Well, they are not hanging about, are they? This is off to a motor, and that's going to be a foul. Pretty exasperated expression there.
Erman appeared holding a frisbee book and a book her teacher wrote about sports. Now she finds herself without a frisbee in her hand as Pagano gets it out of her hand with a nice smack.
And it's going to be the timeout here. This offensive point is looking a little bit clustered and frustrated, so it's not a surprise there to see Kayla call the timeout to try and marshal the troops and get them in order. And we're going to do the same here at ulti.TV. We'll be back very shortly.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Ulti.TV, grow Ultimate by improving our coverage of the game to bring it free to as many people as possible. Then you can become a patron on our website www.ulti.tv, and of course for as little as a price of a pint of beer a month, you can help bring Ultimate to as many fans, new and old, as possible. Paris Ultimate, the Paris Université Club, PUC bringing in off the timeout. Kayla finds low to De Palma. The first possession on offense was so clean, not so much this time as De Palma puts it deep, and Kayla answers the call to put Paris back up 3. BEEFIRE had their break chances, but they couldn't make it count.
Kayla, one of the most important pieces, I dare to say, of this French offense. He is the owner of Force Ultimate, who is the sponsor of this tournament. That's not how we got into the final, nonetheless. But we would still
just
like
a coincidence. It is very important that we stress that.
We would still like to thank him for the jerseys kindly provided for the volunteers and the tournament organizers. He is 43 years of age, lives in Bordeaux, and he started playing Ultimate as he arrived in Australia in a small company of 20 people, including the president of the Australian Federation and 2 national players who invited him to play a hat tournament the next weekend.
I mean, that's not a bad way to get your foot in the door, is it? Let's be honest.
Surely that's where his admiration for Tom Rogacki comes from.
Oh, the Gak is an absolute monster. I'll tell you what, looking forward to seeing him, hopefully, maybe on the fields at Limerick. And his other half, a demon frisbee player in her own right as well. Here's Marzo, finds underneath for Crosetto with that cycling-style cap. Down the far sideline, Fantinato. Pivots, turns, goes back to Crosetto. Gets it from the lefty Possi. Possi to Kalanka. Kalanka's going to shoot it deep, looking for the back of the end zone. Surely not again. It is. It's Fuentes. Who else? Her second goal of the game. It's 4-2. They need to find a way to contain her deep, because otherwise I think BEEFIRE are more than happy to keep hucking it to her.
I wasn't wrong when I said that she is crucial for BEEFIRE's offense.
What a weapon she is. I'm going to see it again now on the replay. Crosetto taking the dump off. They're just playing it short, but you always got the feeling that maybe they were just biding their time, and this time it's Crosetto. Pivots out with the backhand, and there is nothing the PUC defense could do about it once it had left his hand. It was always going to end up with Fuentes to reduce the deficit back down to 2, as we can see a pretty sizable sideline forming here. Most of the games now wrapped up or are in the process of wrapping up, so getting a good crowd in here to watch, hopefully, some good, tight, close-knit Ultimate.
And I would love to translate some of these Italian comments for you in our YouTube channel section, but I don't think my gestures, my hand gestures, will be enough to convey the message. So maybe we will have to invite Veds, who took the liberty of helping us with the pre-game interview that you can also watch on this video, hopefully, in Italian, to help us with the translation maybe during halftime.
Hello to everyone, of course, watching on YouTube, whether it be that live or on demand. It's still available for free, so you can go back and watch it at your leisure and at your pleasure. This ball lands out of bound, and PUC will get the chance to bring it in from the brick mark. It's going to be Kayla to do so. Looking like some zone this time, so BEEFIRE trying to throw something a little bit different defensively at their French opponents. On the far sideline now with Vuong. Sends us to Kayla. Or on to Hermon. Hermon, long-time player with PUC, been there probably best part, if not over a decade by now. This throw is going to say a little bit, but I think Vuong should have the legs to be able to chase it down. Back to Hermon. Now swinging towards the sideline. Fumagalli has it, and he finds a beautiful shot over the top. What a throw that is from Fumagalli. Brilliant pinpoint where it needs to be. What a throw, what a goal, 5-2.
Thomas Fumagalli, or Totto, formerly played with Sun. We have a few players on this team, I think, who are featured on the mixed Sun team. You know what, Benji? If there is a throw to be called cheeky, it's this one. It does not mean it's risky. It's just cheeky because the defender just does not expect it whatsoever. It's not an option that everyone would take. But I think even in those last 3 points, there was another one over the heads of the defenders, the nice bladey flick, I think, in the same corner of the end zone. It's just, that's where the cheeky really sits well.
It's a very confident, self-assured throw from a thrower who knows exactly what they're doing. So, odd number point, gender ratio changes. For women, so female puller. It's going to be just short of the brick mark, where Marzo picks up. Holding out that flick, seeing if he can find one he likes, does go underneath. Kalanka goes back to Marzo. Marzo for the far sideline for Fuentes. What's he doing not in the end zone? It's all right, I'm pretty sure she'll find their way before too long. This time, trying to orchestrate things in the backfield. Fakes the flick, dishes it back off now to Marzo. Marzo low. Here's Sisana. Sisana with a delicious inside break. Finds Fuentes. Looks at options in the end zone, but doesn't find one she likes, so she has to go back to Sisana. There is a pick downfield, and that will bring a brief break to proceedings.
Again, Italians utilizing their women more than advantageously, moving the disc quickly downfield.
And a wicked inside break there to crack things open from Sisana. Now it's back in the hands of Posse, forming a formidable backfield duo at the moment with Mazzo. Posse looks, finds an option just outside the end zone. That's Andrea Kalanka. Kalanka wants to squeeze it in down the far sideline. If I gave you a guess at who caught the goal, who would your guess be? It is indeed Fuentes with hers and BEEFIRE's third for 5-3.
So Italy a little bit behind, lots of fans commenting in the chat, cheering their compatriots on. But we have seen BEEFIRE in a similar situation, down a few points in the semi-final against Reading, and they just turned the engines on in the second half. So don't go away like this is a lost cause for the Italians. Anything can really happen in this game. We had a same situation in the Masters Open final, where it was really just lots of ups and downs. I don't wish this upon you, Benji. It is a difficult, difficult situation for a commentator to handle, as the thrill is on for the full 90 minutes of the game.
I don't know what you're suggesting, mate. I'm a seasoned pro at this point. I've seen it all. I've cried tears of happiness and tears of exasperation and despair after games. I don't think anything will faze me at this point, although I am always happy to be proved wrong. Here's the pull from BEEFIRE. It's going to land and roll across the halfway line. Kayla will pick up. He's got this easy swing available to the near side, so he's going to take that to De Palma. De Palma zips it inside. It's stolen away by Pagano, making a nuisance of himself defensively and getting in the way to pick that one off. Now Pagano shooting it deep down the sideline, and the disc is won back for Puc by Aude Amon.
Amon, of course, a former player of Yaka, but she has been the captain of Puc Mixed for more than a decade now. And now she's doing a splendid job for them in the final, taking that possession back for another chance of the French O.
Well, Pagano on the D-line gets a little bit more license to be slightly more swashbuckling with his choice of shot after earning himself the D. Maybe feels he has the right to to maybe take a few liberties with the disc, and that time Ermont to make him pay. Here is the aforementioned odd Ermont. Turning, doesn't like that backhand though. Isolating a reset, still count rises, but she is able to zip it in rather. To Pupono. Pupono back to Ermont. Lovely feathered flick out towards this near sideline. De Couvi. It's going to still a little bit, but I think Ermont should have this more than easily enough, and she does. Pick downfield.
So again, we see the Italians trying to keep themselves in between the disc and the thrower, while Pagano is sort of poaching a little bit of his player, trying to bait that throw to him, and then get that run through D that we saw featured just a few seconds ago.
Playing it around at the backfield are Paris with De Couvi. Dished off back to Kayla. And now Kayla's going to shoot. Can he find a target he likes? He can indeed. And the good communication means that the pass is caught for the goal. Pupono, along with a block earlier, gets his first goal of the game, and it's 6-3.
Here is the most important fun fact of maybe this entire mixed final, Benji.
All right, I'm waiting for this. So this better knock me off my freaking feet.
So Pupono was in a boy band.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, I repeat, the scorer number 3, Jérémy Pupono, was in a boy band.
Right, I need more context with this.
I have no.
I know you don't have it, but I'm just saying.
Basically zero idea. I suggest whoever Googles it first, you let us know in the comments.
As always, we are more than happy to hear from you. You can find us, just comment in the YouTube chat, or of course, you can find out more information about where you can find us on our website, and you are always welcome to come and talk to us at a tournament, whether that's here at EMUCC or at Tom's, or next up when we are at Windmill in the middle of the next month. Which already feels far too long away. I'm going to have serious post-tournament blues when this is over, I think. Here's Posse. Thought about the rib instead of going underneath. And that time, Fantinato just held up a little bit. Was run through D, but there is a foul called. Engaged in discussion. It was Samako who came charging through from behind to get that block. The PUC women's team co-coach and captain. Just poaches off to get the block there. Maybe there's contact on the arm as she comes through. It's quite difficult to tell from the angle.
I'm being told that her teammates will appreciate if I mention her teammate Melon.
Excellent.
She has also won the European Championship in Madrid with France women's team, alongside with Aude Richon, another player on this PUC team.
So you're seeing it again a couple of times on the replay. You can make your own minds up. What matters is the resolution that the players come to. There are players on the sideline who are ready to share their point of view. I was asked, and I have, I'll be honest, I didn't get the best view of it, so they're going to send it back. I think Samako did get there first, but how much contact there was is always difficult to tell. So it's going to go back into the hands of the original thrower, Nicola Posse, but a really nice defensive play regardless by Samako. And there's the turf.
Could it be that the disc always speaks the truth?
It's been said, I don't know how accurate it is, but it has been said. Just outside the end zone now. What can PUC do? Swinging it towards the near sideline, looking for a break to go 7-3 up. Swings back into the backfield, fakes around. Still going backwards, trying to zing that one in there. That one will stick. It's Gabrielle with the throw. And the goal caught on the far side gives them the 7-3 lead. I think that might be Thibaut Houblon with the score.
I do have some dirt on Upron, actually. He is the other guy that can drive on this French team. But his parents are so kind that they often host the team for training camps in the west of France.
Doesn't that sound horrible? Training camp in the west of France. God, I can't imagine that sort of team bonding activity. It must be awful. I jest. Yeah, it is indeed Upron catching the goal. Useful teammate to have, I'll put it that way. And down in a real hole here, I can see why BEEFIRE is taking another timeout. This, Rachel, you're a player who's been in these sort of high-pressure games. I understand the call. I really do.
Surely, yeah. BEEFIRE is in a difficult situation right now. I don't think they have been 4 points down in the semi-final that we streamed yesterday, but it's still nothing that cannot be recovered. Really, I think PUC have had some weaker moments during their pool play as well, and at this stage, all it takes is a few good deeds, a few good moments that you show, and you might get into their heads. I think the French are now getting very comfortable with their performance because it's shown an improving curve, so to speak, throughout the tournament. And now that they have made it to the final, they are just feeling very deserving, I think, of what they are experiencing right now. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. If I were BEEFIRE, let's just add some few more points on the scoreboard, try to get as much in during the first half still.
Yeah, keep your opponent within touching distance, although as I've said before, until that final point is scored, I am never counting BEEFIRE out of it. Because under sometimes, what's that phrase? You know, pressure makes diamonds? We'll see. Posse down the far sideline. Huge gainer there. Crosses the halfway line to Fuentes. Dishes off to Crosetto. Now it's Kalanka. Sounds like the PUC defense is transitioning, but they're trying to blast through it before they can get there. Shot for the back of the end zone. And who else but Fuentes? Every goal for BEEFIRE's come into her hands. It's hers and the Italians' fourth for 7-4.
Wow, what a powerhouse, these women.
How do you stop her? How do you stop her, Rachel?
You don't. You just enjoy watching it.
Well, it's all well saying you don't. If you are playing for PUC, you do at least have to try, surely. You can't just let her have her way, because she's just going to continually hurt you.
I think we saw PUC again in this point transition from a zone D to match defense, and that might make it a tiny bit easier for the Italians to kind of get that advantage, because until you have found your player, until you have found your position, realizing who you're actually going to be defending, and then you realize, it's actually Fuentes Velez. Oops, I should be behind her. It might be too late, because she's got the disc in her hands in the end zone.
Saw a shot of Ravi Vasudevan over on the far sideline wearing a resplendent Eurozone hoodie.
And Italians stay in this half and will need to put in so much pressure on this next D point. We have 4 girls on the line and a very nice pull.
Fakini bombs this one deep. First pass goes to Hermont. Pick.
Almost seems more like a foul. I saw a hand signal for a foul.
Oh, I must have missed that one, but I trust your eyes. Disc is back in play now regardless. De Palma swings to Kayla. Trying to force them towards this near sideline where Vuong has it. They're strapping on her knees. Pupono. Breaks around Temporin to get it off the line slightly to Kayla. Kayla zips it in there. Wow, a lot of traffic, but he finds Fumagalli regardless. Fumagalli, shot for goal, is good. And the Paris will take an 8-4 half-time lead. Fumagalli throwing his second assist of the game. If the second half is going to be a repeat of the first, PUC are going to run away with this.
Vuong, earlier being coached by Steph Rapazzo. A quick shout out to our fellow commentator here. Apparently he did a good job coaching her as well, because she did get that last score of this half. Puck takes it over BEEFIRE 8-4.
Well, this is not the close final, at least not yet anyway, that we thought we might have earlier. And you see there, it's in that tight window. And what happens is it draws the defender in there to see if she can get the block. You understand why Bart Sassi was tempted by the bait that was thrown out there. But when she did and she didn't get there, Vuong did the right thing, noticed that she could take advantage of it, took off deep, and Fumagalli rolls it around the defense for the score and the 8-4 lead. There's going to be some serious tactical digging and soul searching at halftime here from BEEFIRE. We're going to just have a brief little breather, get ourselves ready, set, psyched up for the last half of the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships, which continues after the break.
Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
Hi, this is Vest. Me and my camera have been covering Ultimate Frisbee since 2012, and now I've been working with ulti.TV, streaming Ultimate Frisbee for you. And if you become a patron member, we can offer you more contents, especially those games that they are not live stream and they're happening at the end of the game. Half of it I can move and go in there and stream live. So become a member, go on ulti.TV.
You know what the deal is by now. We are in our 15th and final game of the weekend. It's ulti.TV's coverage of the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships, and we are finishing the weekend with the Mixed Masters Final. It's a pool play rematch. BEEFIRE of Torino, Italy, up against Paris BEEFIRE from France, of course. And BEEFIRE won the initial game in the pool, 15-13, but it looks like a very different contest on our hands here, Rachel, with the French taking an 8-4 half-time lead.
As I said, the French have been gaining their confidence throughout the tournament. The game against BEEFIRE being actually the only one that they have lost. And since their march through the quarters and the semis, I think they're now a lot more confident about their performance and just ready to really tackle this final with full force, while the Italians have been pulling on the shorter end of the string so far. Equally matched rosters, really, these two teams. I believe BEEFIRE with about 20 players and PUC with 21.
Yeah, they've got one more player rostered for this weekend, PUC. You do wonder, actually, maybe how much that hell-raising final of last night, the 15-14 sudden death victory for BEEFIRE over Reading, may have taken out of the legs, or alternatively, are they just mounting the table for a comeback to end all comebacks? We shall see. BEEFIRE will begin the second half receiving the ball. The ball is sent deep in the second half. The final half of EMUCC is underway with the ball being caught by Mattia Marzo. And he finds Possi. Possi underneath to Cesana. Beatrice Cesana lays that one out there perfectly in stride for Fantinato, dishing it off to Possi. Possi faking down the line, now tries to break it inside there, and it's a goal scorer for the first time who isn't Fuentes, as Possi teams up with Kalanka for the goal.
Kalanka with 2 assists in this game already. He adds a score to his achievements in this game. That was pretty smooth, Benji. Beautiful breaks, beautiful quick give and goes, and that final pass through the middle. We do have some new members, new Patreons, Benji.
Yeah, quite a few patrons have signed up in the past few days. Buton d'Or, Valerie, Sebastian, Daniel, Philip, David, Jonas, Malta, Dan, Len. Thank you all so much for your support and your patronage here on ulti.TV. It means a lot. That allows us to come to tournaments and occasions like this, the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships. And what a weekend it has been. And if this isn't enough for you, then I shouldn't tell you this, but I will. But Tom Storney is also going on this weekend, and after this finishes, I think it's the Open Final. So you know, you can put the women's final in the back pocket there and go and watch that afterwards.
Well, I will let you in on one, Benji. Malta is actually Malte Meistering, who was battling out and ended up with a win in the last Open Masters final that we streamed. So as long as we can have people in front of the camera subscribing to the stream, I think we're going to have a steady growth.
If it's good enough for them and they're playing, well, I think that says a lot about, hopefully, the quality of our coverage. De Palma down the near sideline, where she finds Le Nouvelle. Swings to Kayla. So Nouvelle takes off deep. Matched up against Max Vitali. Instead, the disc is thrown under. Here's Thomas Fumagalli, whose assist ended the first half. Back to Kayla. Kayla rips it deep. He's looking for Fumagalli once more. Vitali will try and close the gap, but he's not going to be able to do it. Goal signalled. It's 9-5 on that connection from Kayla to Fumagalli.
I think the Italians are really trying to implement their defense, and it's not working the way they want. I can see the coach, who is Andrea Temporin, really trying to make sure that the players know what they're supposed to be doing, because this is not exactly what he had in mind. He is 42 years old. He has played for Southampton Skunks, for Kaspla Fota, for UFO Utrecht, Ultimate Milano and Ultimate Bergamo. He has lots of experience, so it's clear that he wants to make sure that that is passed on onto his teammates also during this final. He's also been a member of the board of Italian National Federation for almost 10 years and the president of the National Teams Committee. He's coached Open Italy Senior and Italy Open U24 since 2017.
And of course that Italy Open Under-24s team took home silver medal in Perth and a bronze medal in the next edition in Heidelberg. So clearly a coach with some ultimate acumen to his name. Marzo catches the ball here. His first pass finds his handling partner Possi. Possi's going to rip this one downfield. Coming over the top, it's not going to be caught at the second attempt. I thought that Kalanka had position, but it's a good play coming over the top by Vittoria. Now swinging around the back in the hands of Samako. But they're just going to give it right back. BEEFIRE not letting them get out of sight just yet. Kalanka just wants a little bit more clarity in that handler space as it swings all the way around to Mazzo. Mazzo with that no pivot backhand is right on the money to his target, and then he gets it back or she, I should say, gets it back to Posse. Now it's back to Mazzo. Fantinato clears out downfield. She leaves that off there for Sisana. Sisana into Kalanka. Looking towards the end zone, maybe thinks about the blade, but we're going to try the lead throw. There was not a huge amount of separation there, but it was right on the money where it needed to be. Strong, quick hands from Fantinato will make the score 9-6.
So the Italian women scoring the majority points for their team here. I think, again, this was one of the situations where you as a defender really think you're there and you have to get the disc, and then you just see the long arms and hands outstretching over your own and just getting the disc anyway.
There's a turn for you. It's a hand block actually from Posse.
And the teams will go into a timeout. Both teams have 2 for each half of this game.
And then here is that score. Kalanka finding his teammate Fantinato at the front of the end zone for the 6-9 score. PUC break their huddle first. Trying to keep that energy and that spirits high, not let the Italians take the wind out of their proverbial sails. Still having a fight with my microphone.
Vez getting a lot of shout outs in our YouTube YouTube comment section. And I'm gonna use this time to do a little shout out to my sister Sarah, who's been helping me all weekend stay hydrated, stay ready, and she was also one of the TOCs at this tournament.
I think I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Sarah is definitely my top 2 Toshnarovas.
15 seconds left of this first timeout. And a little bit of sideline action there.
See, this is the sort of the luxury VIP treatment we get here in the commentary booth. This is actually very unusual. Let me stress, this doesn't normally happen, but I am exceedingly grateful. Thank you, Sarah, Benjamin Rees, and Rahel Toshnarova, with Sarah Toshnarova in the background as well. Here at the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships, back to the action on the field with BEEFIRE pulling now to PUC. Roll successfully stopped. PUC, rather than with a set 7 or 8 on offense, they roll out and rotate through, but Kayla isn't ever present, and you can understand why. With bombs like that, a great catch falling backwards for the hold by Pupono. It's 10-6.
You can only learn that when you're in a boy band, really.
This boy band thing is so intriguing to me.
I can't believe no one has sent a YouTube video with a link to the chat yet. I would love to see him dance around in some 90s clothes.
I was going to say, would he really be that old? And it's Masters, so yeah, I guess it might be. And we're seeing it. Kayla's not wasting any time, and we can see that Pupono wants it that way as he goes over his head and catches it at the second attempt for the grab. Well, it wasn't the easiest reception, but made it stick. And he's got a big beaming smile on his face. And you know what? I get it. I totally get why.
He does it for the fans. He does it for the fans.
Hashtag content.
So zone didn't do the job for the Italians for now. So they will be back to focus on offense. This time with 4 women downfield.
Mazzo picks up again. He loves that no pivot backhand, and he gets it off here to Kalanka. Sun really shining down, and Mazzo is on his knees, but he still secures the catch.
I don't care that you're sitting down. You're getting the disc regardless.
Hey, you may be on the floor, but you're still open. Your defender's not on the floor either. At the moment, they're just playing it around the backfield. Cutters trying to wake some movement downfield. Eventually, they find a pass. Fuentes, now to Fekini. Fekini to Kalanka. Bit more pace and panache about the Italian offense in this second half. Fantinato has a goal, her side 6, and she's going to shoot this one for Fuentes, but it rises over her head, and Guillotin is there to smuggle it away.
There's too many odds on this French team, so they called Guillotin Marcel.
Looking for the dagger, the killing blow, and it's the other Oort, Richon, who drops it. That's so uncharacteristic from her.
This odd going under the name of Bichette or Baby Deer. We're just going to call her Bambi, I think.
Yeah, I tell you what, that is the Italians' get-out-of-jail-free card played, it feels like, because if Richon had caught that and they converted to make it 11-6, could have been game over. This throw is going to sail a little bit. Brilliant grab from Fantinato. You can see now what effect the wind is having. As Facchini rips it deep, she's looking for Fuentes, and Fuentes secures the reception for 7-10. BEEFIRE still hanging around. They're buzzing around the ear holes of the French.
Girl Point Benji at its finest. I don't think we've seen too many deep throw connections. Mostly probably when there were teams with really good, strong women, you usually found one male defender poaching off the deep space a little bit. But this time with 4 girls, or women rather, on the line, it is a little more difficult of a task to complete. Here is again that high grab and a beautiful continuation for that preparation of a deep shot, and Fuentes again, wonderful job reading that disc. Italians staying alive, 7-10.
I don't know about you, but I'm still waiting for the Italians to really turn it on. It feels like they can sometimes ride the waves of emotion, and they need that big, energizing play to really amp them up. Still without a break in this contest. Now, if you're an Italian supporter, would be a brilliant time to find the first.
I agree, Benji. I feel like the Italian defense really put their foot on the gas more like in the second half and rather towards the end of the game against the Reading British team yesterday. So the time is now, really.
There's a player who's got wide open deep, and they didn't see it quickly enough. The throw was a little bit behind Fumagalli, but Vitali couldn't get there in time, and the layout secures the snag. Kayla throws it low. Dikuvi's shooting. Oh, this is swirling and this is skying, but good position, and the disc expertly read and brought down from Puck. Again, that one maybe not their cleanest hold, but it counts the same. They're 4 points ahead, and 4 points for them will secure the win at 11-7.
The Parisians increasing their lead with a nice bit of offensive play. Kayla opening up. And look at that. Nice high disc and an early jump from La Nouvelle. La Nouvelle apparently is the most enthusiastic celebrator on the team and has an identical twin brother who unfortunately no longer plays.
Okay, right. Until I see them on the field together, I remain skeptical. I'll just put that out there. It felt like with that D, there was a good strong moment there where Vitali had position, and he just maybe was a little bit on his heels a bit, and then gave it up. It allowed Nouvelle to nip round the side, get back in front, and secure the grab. A big swirling pull. That Posse jogs over to and picks up with the left hand. He's got cutters going deep immediately. Doesn't like that undercut though. And it's going to sneak this one through to Matzo on the run. Matzo ran to Kalanka, bobbled it, but he secured it. And that's all that matters. Posse gets it around now. Susanna fakes the backhand. Tries to spear it in there. Finds the target. This throw is low and Matzo can't get there.
I could absolutely see the wind just smashing the disc to the ground. Lots of wind now on the pitch.
Timeout called.
Second timeout for the French in the second half. That means the last timeout for them. Last chance to really discuss the strategy for the rest of this game. They are not far off.
Yeah, a 5-point lead this late in the contest. Again, it's not insurmountable, but the odds would be extremely firmly in their favour. We're going to take a little break now while the teams do the same. Don't go anywhere, because the conclusion of this game continues after these messages.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ulti.TV.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
our
work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories
Grow
and live
Ultimate
coverage
with
to the
us.
eyes of the
Go to
Ultimate world and
ulti.TV
beyond.
to find out more and become a patron for Siddle. As a Pioneer Beer a month, you can help us to continue bringing as much free live Ultimate as possible. The wind really picking up now, and it's going to be whipping against Pook as they search for a 5-point break, and I don't know how that was caught. It seemed like really tight coverage, but Simarko put her body on the line to make sure it stayed in her grasp. Bit of air bounce on the throw. Alev has it anyway. Now on the far sideline with Gabrielle. Gabrielle shooting, and this is swirling high and deep. And Tavo can't get there.
The team's definitely battling one of the worst winds that we have had all weekend. That deep shot was actually pretty good given the wind, but again, both players really finding their position early.
It's just a little tip there, and it's still alive, and it just bounces off the fingertips. The defender, Kalanka, did just enough. Zips that one in there to Fantinato. Oh, low, and still can't be reeled in. And Pook on the goal line, still not scored yet. Now they have. That's the 5-point lead they wanted. That's the 5-point lead they craved. 12-7 they lead. Is
Pook.
that game over?
Pook making it look really easy there.
Just the disc a little bit low. Got the hands there, couldn't scoop it up, and if I'm BEEFIRE now, I'm thinking about making some kind of severely drastic changes, because we need to find a way to energize this unit that just looks a little bit lethargic and spent out there, to be honest. And now you're just going to see a replay of the score as well. Pretty simple one-pass ultimate with Torrieri finding Lambolet for the goal.
Looks like Rapazzo made himself a nice scoring machine in the form of Lambolets.
Her sister's an ultimate player as well, I believe, over at Mystiques in Lyon.
That is correct. So the Italians, we see them collecting on the sideline, really trying to come up with last-minute strategy, really, to stay in this game.
Opening up the roster a little bit here. See Pagano's crossed over to the O-line. First appearance in this game for Janino Palacio. And just again, threw it straight to the defender. Pook are all over BEEFIRE right now. They're being swatted away dismissively. Underneath, they are right outside the end zone. Can they find that pass that would almost be the dagger in Italian hearts? Down the line, that one's going to do it, except it's going to come back.
I think either a stall out or a foul call, a little bit of contact maybe there on the throw. I have to say I do feel like the Italian women are doing a slightly better job really staying focused in this game and working really hard, while the men seem a bit disappointed with the gap that the French have been able to generate. We'll see.
It's Lambolet putting it out into space. The snag secured easy enough for the goal, and I'm just looking for a hand signal. The disc is checked back in anyway, and that one's going to work. 13-7. Paris 2 points away from the crown unless BEEFIRE can provide an almighty sting in the tail. It's getting late early here for the Italians.
I can see a bit of disappointment or not embezzlement is not the
embarrassment. Right word. No, again, embarrassment feels a little bit harsh.
Yeah, I didn't mean that one either. Startlement maybe, in the eyes of the Italians, because they are just unable to stop this French defense, and that's maybe what their mind has been on, and that's how they lost another few discs on their offense.
That's the replay of the previous call as Milan desperately tries to get some players to clear the line. Don't be like Finney, gang. Come on, we've been through this.
You've done an excellent job all weekend. Don't mess it up on the last call. Another pull goes up. The French only 2 points away from taking the European title.
Pagano continuing to play on offense now. Dishes off to Posse. Feels like they made those changes a lot earlier in the contest against Reading than they did here. Has it come too little too late? Kalanka. Goes to Pagano. And then live wire, Pagano. Goes central to Susanna. He wants the disc back. It's low and released to him, and Pagano rips it for his target in the end zone. And he's got it for the goal. And that looks to be Fuentes again, because who else? That's her sixth of the contest now.
So an important hold for the Italians. We see the hand signals that changes the gender ratio to 3 women and 4 men. Couple of points still left in the game. A 5-point difference is not insurmountable.
It's just when you've got this little wiggle room, you know, you're 5 points down and your opponent only needs 2 to win. It's dire straits, to be honest.
And I also think that while the French have been able to comfortably rotate their O and D line, the Italians had to make some crossovers, and they had to have a few players, just like in that semi-final yesterday, who have played just a good long range of points, and it does get to you. Eventually, you're gonna have to, you know, let it be seen somewhere, be it a slightly less enthusiastic cut on offense or a bit of a slag off on the defense.
Pagano with the pull. Hermont. Centers to Kayla. Kayla wants to float this one over the top. Expertly weighted. Fumagalli just holds this position and makes the comfortable clap catch. Back to De Palma. It floats, but not a problem. The Italians need to find a way to generate some turnovers, but the Pucco line has not turned it over at all this half. They've only turned it over 3 times all game.
Scuba goes over the first cup for a first bigger gainer against this Italian zone. Now they keep working patiently.
Kayla trying to orchestrate and manipulate his offense. See if he can find a way to move these markers into the position he wants them. Now he gets the dish off on the run. Oh, it is so good when it works for the French. That time, the Italians just being scythed, almost guillotined open from Puc, and they're 1 away from victory in the crown. It's 14-8.
They gave it a try. It slowed the French down, but unfortunately it was unable to generate the turnover. With a lot of time to go still, the time cap being at 90 minutes here in Wrocław, We are nearing the hard point cap, which is at 15.
I mean, the time is there for the comeback. You're right, the time is there for the comeback. We know it's going to 15 now regardless. So BEEFIRE, just forget about the clock. The question is, your opponent can only score one more point. That means you cannot have any mistakes this time. And even if you don't, it might not be enough. That's the fine margins the Italians have left themselves now. Vitali just split as that deep defender. And Dukuvi takes advantage of it on this near sideline for 8-14.
Luca, with the last score, broke his rib at the first game in Madrid Cup and decided to play 2 more games with a broken rib.
That's ill-advised, I would thought. Don't recommend doing that.
Yep, if we have any junior players watching, please try to keep yourself intact until the Masters age, so we have something more to stream later on.
Fuentes down the far sideline. Back to Kalanka, and there's going to be a stoppage.
The wind calming down again, maybe allowing some of more precise Italian deep shots.
You can see the crowds gathering on the far sideline. All the other games wrapped up now here in Wrocław. And I think it's a turnover. Maybe just a little bit lackadaisical with the foot placement, lacking the field awareness. And PUC have the disc with the chance to win.
With Fuentes being called out of bounds, the French have now a game point on their hands.
But it's given right back, despite the layout. Couldn't be reeled in. Samarco tried her best, but Torrieri's throw was too far. The wind beginning to whip up a little bit more fiercely now. And you can see the problem it had affecting the disc there, but they got away with it. Posse comes short. Pagano with those tattooed arms. Goes back to Mazzo in Pagano's hands. Trying to move the mark around, gets right the way around for this whipped break. And now shot deep from Posse towards the back of the end zone.
Isn't she incredible?
It's
Fuentes
money.
Velas again. I was going to say you really have to weigh each of your throws in this wind, but you really don't when you have receivers like Fuentes downfield.
Just bang it to Fuentes. Like you say, it's not been the entirety of the offense, but she's got 7 out of 9 goals, so it's been the overwhelming majority of it at this point.
Italians staying alive, prolonging this match, prolonging the fun for you spectators watching from home. Thank you for engaging in the comments. We have still the point cap that is on at 15. And you can have another look at this wonderful piece of offense with Fuentes
again,
pulling the disc in.
Yeah, that's quite far away in front of her, but really extends those arms to get it at the full length of her reach.
You can have a look at the trophies awaiting both these teams. One is just slightly bigger and slightly more valued for the European champions from the Masters Ultimate Club Championship here in Wrocław. Another game point on our hands. Italy prepares to pull, and we have 4 women on the line.
We do indeed. The gender ratio has changed, going with a flick pull towards this near sideline. Skims the turf a little bit. De Palmas will pick up. It's offense all the way here. And the Puco line has not turned it over in the second half. They've turned it over 3 times all game and have not been broken. And they want to end it quickly. Kayla to the back of the end zone. Puco champions. The arm of Kayla comes in strong. His 5th assist of the game. They went down 15-13, a squeaker in the pools, but they roared back in this contest, and BEEFIRE had no answer. They were squished and squashed by PUC, who run the bracket and are your European Masters Ultimate Club champions in the Mixed Masters division.
What a quick way to put an end on it. I think Grosseto will not want to rewatch this last point. He really got burned by Kayla on that upline. But look at that, Pagano and the rest of this team still celebrating. Very excited to make it this far in this competition. A silver medal is a medal still, and a great achievement for Italian, or more precisely Torino Ultimate. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting both teams in the comments on YouTube. The games will be available on demand later on here on our ulti.TV YouTube channel. Benji, thank you for spending this entire weekend with me.
Honestly, it's been an absolute dream, and there is nowhere else that I would rather be, and I include Tom's tourney in that as well. So both teams going through their hand slaps as you see the final score writ large in the top left of your screen. BEEFIRE 9, PUC 15, and on the day they just had far too much for BEEFIRE. Maybe you looked a little bit physically and emotionally exhausted. Not that you can blame them over after their Universe semi-final last night, and Paris with a slightly larger, maybe slightly deeper roster. Hadn't played those tight games in the bracket, just able to pull away from them in this game. Got ahead early, took a 3-0 lead, and really, from that point on, even though BEEFIRE came back in the semi, they just couldn't find it within themselves to do so today, and that is that. European Masters Ultimate Club Championships is in the books.
We will give one more quick shout out to Francis Dieterle, who prepared the fun facts for you for your enjoyment during this final for the PUC French team. Thank you very much. Keep them coming.
Thank you everyone for your support, whether you are just a YouTube subscriber, whether you've allowed us to notify you whenever we go live, or whether you have put your money where our mouths are and you want to support, grow the spread of Ultimate by allowing us to bring it to you free of charge here on YouTube, so as many people can find it as possible. That means a huge amount. Sorry, Rachel.
It does. Thank you again to the volunteers helping out for free at this tournament, doing a wonderful job, scoring, timing, picking up the trash, keeping everyone informed. Thank you to the TOCs, Dario Shorbanik, Michał Du, Felix Nemetz, Sarah Toshnerova, we see Martin Gottschalk there, Jacek Pavel. Wonderful job organizing this tournament. Great job ordering the weather.
Right, we were worried about rain today, but we've had a remarkably rain-free weekend. You're seeing there the trophies, medals and spirit discs on the presentation table, ready to be given out to our winners today. PUC, the Paris Ultimate Club, with BEEFIRE taking silver, and Heidi's winning the bronze medal game against Reading earlier today, and no word yet as who the spirit winners are, of course, and that will draw an end to our coverage of the European Masters Ultimate Club Championships. Thank you very much for watching. It's been an absolute delight to be here all week. ulti.TV will continue to bring you as many events as we can. After this weekend, next up is Windmill in the middle of June, but there's still time after we finish to switch over to Tom's and see the conclusion of the action over there on the Tom's Tourney YouTube channel. But from everyone here at ulti.TV's coverage of the European Masters Ultimate Club Championship, on behalf of our colleagues and friends and partners at the European Ultimate Federation, for Nicholas Ho-Hee-Yen, for Rob Henderson, for Milan van der Bovenkamp, for my partner in crime on the mic this week, thank you so much for joining me, Rahel Toshnerova.
Whoop whoop, anytime.
I have been Benjamin Rees. I will continue to be Benjamin Rees, even when I'm not on the mic. We shall see you at Windmill. But thank you so much for watching. Your final score here, 15-9, PUC winners over BEEFIRE. They are your Mixed Masters European Club Championships. And ulti.TV will see you on the other side.
Breakside Murphy, and then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab!
Abusco Electric, become a member.
Hi, this is Vest. Me and my camera have been covering Ultimate Frisbee since 2012, and now I've been working with ulti.TV, streaming Ultimate Frisbee for you. And if you become a patron member, we can offer you more contents, especially those games that they are not live stream and they're happening at the end of the game. Half of it I can move and go in there and stream live. So become a member, go on ulti.TV.
It's rigging. Give me a sec.
Let me talk to him, though. Let me talk to him.
Mike, it's Benj. Yeah, I know you're streaming. I don't care. We finished. That's the important thing. Have you seen the viewing figures? You have. So you know that we've won. What do you mean you've got more games? That's not fair. It should be about like the average, not like the total, because obviously like.
Yeah, Mikey, it's cheating.
Yeah. See, Rachel knows. Anyway, look. We've got to pack up here, make the most of the good weather. See you at Windmill. First round's on you. Yeah. Unlucky, mate.
Bye, Mikey.
Love you. Mwah.